Layers of skin part 3. Here we will discuss the superficial layer of epidermis, that is stratum corneum, the second layer of skin, that is dermis, and the superficial fascia or hypodermis. Stratum corneum, it is the most superficial layer of epidermis, and this layer is directly exposed to the outside environment. The increased keratinization, it is also called cornification, give this layer its name. As we go from deeper to superficial, the process of keratinization is increasing more and more, and hence it got the name cornification, and the layer got its name stratum corneum. There are usually 15 to 30 layers of these cells in stratum corneum. So what is the property of these cells? These cells are dry and dead cells. They also prevent the penetration of microbes and dehydration of underlying tissues, and thus it gives a mechanical protection against abrasion for the more delicate underlying layers. So what is the property of these cells? They are dry and dead cells, and it also prevents the microbes and dehydration of underlying tissues, and thus it gives a mechanical protection against abrasion for the more delicate underlying layers. Cells in this layer are shed periodically. That is, cells in this layer are shed periodically, and the entire layer is replaced during a period of 4 weeks. So the entire layer is also replaced during a period of 4 weeks. Now we will discuss the second layer of skin, that is dermis. So the second layer of skin is dermis, which is located in between epidermis and hypodermis. And hypodermis is also called superficial fascia. I am stressing the word hypodermis as superficial fascia because it is not strictly a part of skin. So what does this layer dermis contains? It contains blood vessels, lymph vessels, nerves, and other structures such as hair follicles and sweat glands. And dermis is made up of 2 layers of connective tissue that compose an interconnected mesh of collagen and collagenous fibers produced by fibroblasts. We will discuss the function of collagen later. So we have already discussed that dermis have 2 layers, that is, one is papillary layer and the second one is reticular layer. So the first layer is papillary layer. And what is it made of? It is made of loose areolar connective tissues. So it means that the collagen and elastin fibers of this layer form a loose mesh. The superficial layer of dermis projects to stratum basale. So we have already discussed that stratum basale is the deepest layer of epidermis, and this forms a dermal papillae. So the superficial layer of dermis which projects to stratum basale and thus forms dermal papillae. In this layer there are fibroblasts, a small number of fat cells, and an abundance of small blood vessels. And it also contains lymphatic capillary, nerve fibers, and touch receptors called Meissner corpuscle. So what does this layer contains? It contains fibroblasts, a small number of fat cells, and an abundance of small blood vessels, and it also contains lymphatic capillary, nerve fibers, and touch receptors called Meissner's corpuscle. It also contains phagocytes, which helps to fight against bacteria and other infections that have reached the skin. So the papillary layer also contains phagocytes, which help to fight against bacteria and other infections. So the next layer of dermis is the reticular layer. So it is seen below the papillary layer of dermis. So the reticular layer is seen below the papillary layer of dermis, and it is also thicker than papillary layer. So we have already discussed that papillary layer consists of loose areolar connective tissue, but in reticular layer it is thicker and it is composed of dense irregular connective tissues. So, the reticular layer is composed of dense irregular connective tissues, and this layer is vascularized and has a rich sensory and sympathetic nerve supply. And this layer appears reticulated due to tight network of fibers. It includes elastin fibers and collagen fibers. So it is composed of dense irregular connective tissues, and this layer is vascularized. It means it has blood supply and has a rich sensory and sympathetic nerve supply. And this layer appears reticulated due to tight network of fibers. It includes elastin fibers and collagen fibers. So, what is the property of elastin fibers? It gives elasticity to skin and thus enables movement. And the property of collagen fiber is it provides structure and tensile strength with strands of collagen extending to papillary layer and hypodermis. And it binds with water to keep skin hydrated. So the properties of elastic fiber is it gives elasticity to skin and thus enables movement. And the property of collagen fiber is it provides structure and tensile strength with strands of collagen extending to papillary and epidermis. And it also binds with water to keep skin hydrated. So the next layer is hypodermis. It is not strictly a part of skin. It is mostly a fascia and it is also called superficial fascia. And it is a layer directly below dermis. It connects the skin with bones and muscles. And it is not strictly a part of skin, although the border between hypodermis and dermis is not exactly distinguishable. It consists of well-vascularized, loose areolar connective tissue and adipose tissue, which function as a mode of fat storage and provides insulation and cushioning for integument. That is, it consists of well-vascularized, loose areolar connective tissue and adipose tissue, which function as a mode of fat storage, and it also provides insulation and cushioning for the skin.